Championship for August 25th in New Jersey. But 4 skaters can earn points for the remaining 2 spots, so that is a storyline to watch all year long, as well as the 10 remaining skaters who can golden ticket their way in by winning tomorrow's final. As we take a look at Heat 1, Tony, some great names here led by Sean Malto.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Sean Malto. He's been ripping in all the events, but his best finish has been second in Foz do Iguaçu. But don't count out David Gonzalez, because he is going faster than anyone and always unpredictable.
Yeah, it will be fun to watch him with these quarters here on the course. A really unique course design that we'll get into momentarily. So let's kick things off. Heat number 1. We begin in the flow section. Each skater getting 2 45-second attempts. We count their best score. They can hit any obstacle. We begin with Austin Gillette.
Austin coming in fast here with Smith. Oh, a little too fast. That's the thing about this course. They got these giant quarter pipes on the sides, and if you use them too much, you end up getting too much speed for the ledges.
Austin already skates with so much speed, one of the fastest guys out here. Super stylish. He's had some injury problems this year, but he's back in the mix.
Whoa, big 260 flip there.
Austin's closing in on his final 5 seconds. Not sure he's going to be able to get one off in time, and the buzzer sounds. So as we await a look at the format breakdown, we're in the middle of the flow section, as we said, 2 45-second runs with the best score counting. The skaters can hit any obstacle on the course. We then move on to the impact section, 5 attempts each, and the best 3 scores count. So your prelim score today, 3 impacts, 1 flow, with the top 8 advancing to tomorrow's final. And here is David Gonzalez.
David he's been so exciting to watch in practice, especially when he's hitting those big quarter pipes. And I haven't even seen him try a bonus yet. Usually he's doing a nose one up on that thing.
These quarters here modeled after the same ones that Jaquan, Mid-Wilshire here in Los Angeles. A lot of LA skate influence on this course.
Oh man, he's doing stalefish, barely landing back on.
David averages a 6.3 in the flow section, so keep your eyes on that score as the numbers come through. Hitting the impact section and gets it off in time. Nice run.
Oh, lip slide to finish it off. Shows that he can hit the rails as well as the quarter pipes. Wow, barely coming back into that right there. This is a good start though. Kickflip, frontside 50-50.
Austin Gillette's score clocked in at a 3.5. Gonzalez a 4.7, so below his average. But again, each skater gets 2 attempts here. Up next though, Sean Malto.
This seems like a really good course for Sean here. He likes the ledges, he likes the pyramids, he likes to do nollie, frontside board slides.
And Tony, I gotta think, this course is a challenging one. If we don't see big scores here, I would assume it would favor a guy like Malto, who's just so consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's got that transition skill as well. So, as well as being a really good street skater, he knows the parks as well too. Oh, nice nose grind up and over. So he had one sort of step off there. That's probably going to cost him a bit, but this is still the best round we've seen.
So Malto using the entire course very creatively as we take another look, hitting the ledge.
Going up and over.
So Malto's score clocking in at a 5.4. So despite 3 solid runs to kick it off, very high numbers. But here's a shot where one of the skaters, as we said, one of the 4 guys gunning for the final 2 spots to get into the Super Crown World Championship. You want to keep your eyes on a shot all day.
It's a good run so far for Shad.
Shad's come on strong recently, earning his first finals appearance at X Games Munich just a few weeks ago.
Nice. Wow, no complied tail slide to fakie.
Loses the hat but keeps the shades.
Nose blunt slide. This still really good run. A lot of tricks in there.
Well, as we said before, a lot of eyes on Ashad Ware as he's trying to get a berth into the championship next month.
I like the no comply, taking it back a little bit, but still keeping it modern with the tail slide on the ledge.
Well, Ashad's score clocks in at a 5.9, jumping him to the top of the heat. Up next, rounding out heat number 1, Mikey Taylor. He, just like Ashad, is one of those 4 skaters trying to get those final 2 championship spots. So you can expect these 2 to be battling all day.
Nice. Mikey with frontside feeble. Start off his run swish. Hitting all the obstacles so far. Nollie, frontside board slide. Kind of quietly killing it here.
Yeah. Mikey, similar to Malto, just so consistent.
Wow. Backside tail slide. He's going to run out of time here.
See if we can get this last one off. No.
Not going to risk a fall there.
Why even test the waters? So as we take another look, Mikey hitting that volcano, up and down rail. A 6.2 for Mikey Taylor, and he takes the overall lead.
Yeah, solid run. He's got the only run without a fall so far.
So now we begin on attempts number 2 here in the flow section. Again, each skater getting 2 cracks in the flow. We count the top score. And these guys aren't just competing against their own heat. There's 3 other heats following them to determine the 8 finalists for tomorrow's final.
And Austin's got a better start this time. Getting loose. Wow, big 360 flip. He's already made both of the tricks that he fell on his first run.
Austin always has creative lines here in the flow section.
Just feeble grind on the ledge. These guys, they're trying to get to certain obstacles, and they spend so much time getting there that they actually run out of time for their run. Look at that, nice 360 flip, such a good catch.
So a much better run for Austin Gillette, a 7.4, jumping him up into first place. And up next, David Gonzalez trying the best, a 4.7 from his first attempt.
Yeah, the Advil.
There we go, big bonus. He's got it this time.
I could just watch Gonzalez skate the quarters all day long. Yeah.
Oh, noseblunt slide. You thought he was just going big, but he goes tech too.
The defending Thrasher Skater of the Year, David Gonzalez.
Oh, looks like he was struggling to get the speed for that kickflip front board and couldn't sort of pull it together there.
Try and get one more in there.
Oh, wow. Frontside flip nose blunt over the back. That guy is a warrior. Have you ever seen his video part?
Yeah.
He takes some of the heaviest slams and just gets right back up and goes back at it.
Everyone loves Mr. Gonzalez. A 5.6 is able to jump up on his second score. So here is Sean Malto. As we said before, Malto already earning a spot into next month's Street League Championship. He is safe, but would love nothing more than to get his first win of the season here in LA.
Had a bit of a misstep on his first run, but looking good on this one. Lip slide to Faggy.
Malto did get a silver medal in Foz de Guassu.
Oh, backside Smith. Kind of in the back seat, barely hanging on. There you go. I like it when the buzzer, when they get the buzzer, they still go for the trick.
They still do it, yeah.
There you go, look at that with the fakey nose grind just to finish things off there.
So Malto's score coming in at a 7.0, and when you know it, that's exactly what he averages in this section. So consistency again paying off. Here's Ashad Ware trying to best the 5.9 from his previous run.
Shot hitting the whole course here. These are the quarter pipes. Oh, there we go. 270 lip slide.
Heavy.
A little boneless. Not quite as exciting as David's, but nice. Crooked grind.
We've got this timed up well for one more trick. It's the ledge.
Clean backside tail slide. That was a solid run. That might be one of the best scoring runs.
A great run for Ashad. Trying to get that championship spot. A 7.8 for Ashad Ware, jumping him up to the top of the heat.
He just grind popping over.
And Tony, you can just see him continue to get more and more comfortable with this format and the way things are scored, and that talent has come to shine.
I think it's the sunglasses.
So here's Mikey Taylor to round out the flow section for heat number 1. Had a 6.2 before.
Mikey showing that he can skate switch right out of the gate. Now like frontside board slide. Nose one slide. Stepping up the difficulty level on this run.
Yeah, this is a great second attempt for Mikey.
So tail slide, he's going to get one more trick off. Oh, man.
And he's okay.
I don't know if these guys watched Rachel Reinhardt's fall yesterday, but they might be a little more cautious of that ledge.
Yes, Rachel, of course, yesterday suffering a pretty brutal elbow injury. Wishing her a speedy recovery, but that's it for Mikey Taylor, 7.1. So everyone in this first heat besting their scores on their second attempt. So familiarity breeding success here for heat number 1. As we take a look after the flow section, it's Ashad Ware, Sean Malto all in the 7s. And David Gonzalez running things there in 5th. The fans packing it out here in X-Fest. When we come back, the impact section for heat number 1. Stick around. Skateboarding prelim, heat 1 halfway done. And Ashad Ware, knowing he needs to put in a good showing here today, leading the pack thus far. And it is a packed house out here, Tony, for the prelim. I can only imagine what the final will be like tomorrow, including guitarists everywhere. Slash from GNR. We got Guns N' Roses royalty.
Well, it's the last event for the Paradise City, so he had to come check it out.
I almost didn't recognize him. He should have a top hat on at all times.
Always. Yes, it should be mandatory. I agree.
So Slash enjoying some street out here today. But again, really impressive showing in the flow section from those guys. As we said before, Ashad and Mikey with a lot on the line. We'll see how they skate. Dawson Gillette kicking things off in the impact section. Unable to land there. Each skater again getting 5 attempts here in the impact section. We count the 3 best scores. Up next, David Gonzalez.
Oh, backside lip slide coming off. A little too early on that one. But he'll shake that off. The usual David fashion.
Here is Sean Malto. As we said, a silver medal in FOS. He's already in the championship next month. Still in search of his first goal.
Oh, missing the Smith grind there. I think Sean should go back to the hits with the nollie crooked grind.
Yeah. So here's Ashad Ware, our current leader.
Shot, lip slide fake. He just wants to get something to score.
And that's the key as we take another look. Stack those safety scores up so you can take chances later. Rashad Ware with a 4.0 on that first trick. And here's Mikey Taylor on his first attempt.
Inside feeble. Clean.
A Mikey staple. Another shot of him hitting this rail. And Tony, it may be tough to see from your screen, but this is a long impact section. That out ledge and these rails are no joke.
And that's a pretty big drop when you're trying something technical.
Mikey's score coming in at a 5.9, so he jumps up into the lead as we get ready for attempts number 2. Austin Gillette looking to get some points on the board.
Austin Gillette wants that backside kickflip. Can't quite catch it. And you can tell that that is his plan, is to build upon that. So I don't think he expected to bail that twice.
Here's David Gonzalez looking for his first make.
Oh, David having a hard time on the backside lip slide.
Kicking it away.
Both of these tricks, his and Austin's, are ones I think they felt were their basic go-tos. And so it's kind of throwing him off here to be missing those twice.
Yeah, you can't afford another bail for either one of those guys. Here's Sean Malto.
That's Smith grind.
Wasting no time getting the score up. Again, the numbers just coming in. This impact section, 15 feet long with a 4-foot drop.
Solid backside Smith there.
So 5.3 for Malto. Here's a shot Ware trying to make it 2 for 2 in the impact.
Back lift, hat catch.
Shades, not so lucky.
If he would have caught the shades, he probably would have scored a little bit higher.
So 5.6 for a shot Ware. He regains the lead. Bones to Mikey Taylor, who's looking for his second straight score.
Oh, nice.
Very solid from Mikey.
Switch feeble, 180 out.
So a 6.7, that's a section high for Mikey Taylor as we take another look.
Wow, so solid.
And I don't think it's any coincidence, Tony. Those are the two guys, Ashad and Mikey, who need to skate well. Both skating at the top of the heap thus far. So Austin Gillette misses his 3rd straight attempt. Really put himself behind the 8 ball here. Here's David Gonzalez.
David kind of getting a little more basic with the nollie lip slide because he knows he's got to get scores from now on. He's already had 2 bails.
So the Thrasher is able to put a score up on the board of 4.2. Here's Sean Malto, attempt number 3.
It's that crooked grind.
There it is.
We knew we were going to see one at this point, at some point in this event.
So after posting a 5.3 on the previous attempt, he clocks in a 6.8 to jump up into 2nd place.
Those are like walking down the street from Malto.
Here's a shot Ware. Can he make it 3 for 3? Yes.
Nice. Feeble 180.
I mean, we've said it all season long. This guy has the bag of tricks to compete with the top dogs. It was just getting familiar with this format, knowing when to bust things out, and he's proven that here at 4.8. So 3 straight scores for a shot as he regains the lead. Here's Mikey Taylor.
Mikey Taylor has the highest score here. Nice.
So after a 5.9 and a 6.7.
Right here, switch, crooked grind, 180 out. It's going to be another good score.
A 5.5, so again, Mikey leapfrogging a shot. Attempt number 4 time. Austin Gillette still in search of his first make.
Missing the frontside flip again. It's going to be the 4th 0 for Austin.
So after some impressive skating in the flow section, it just falls apart for Austin here in the impact. Here's David Gonzalez.
Wow, impossible frontside 50-50.
That was
That should be the highest scoring trick.
Let's take a look at that. An 8.1, a new section high. Look at this from David Gonzalez.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's a proper impossible. It's not just a 360 shove. It actually wraps around his foot. He lands perfectly into 50-50.
That is so clean from David Gonzalez. See the fans in the crowd. Oh. Wow. So here is Sean Malto, attempt number 4.
Backside over crook.
Manny Santiago just earned a spot in the Street League 2014. Cheering him on. Take another look. Malto scoring a 7.8.
Sean he feels so comfortable in that frontside crooked grind position. It's like he's on a monorail.
So here's a shot where he's been perfect.
Nice backside tail slide.
4 for 4 is a shot where here in the impact section, skating it as strategically as we've ever seen him do, a 5.8. So he can't afford to take some risks. Perhaps in his 5th attempt, he stays in 3rd place, but solid score for him thus far. Mikey Taylor also flawless in the impact section. Just hanging on there.
Another switch trick, switch blunt slide. You know, some of the switch stuff that he's doing is stuff that these other guys are just doing regular. So that's why he's scoring so much higher.
So Mikey score clocking in a 6.1. He stays in 2nd place. And it's final attempt time. Will Austin Gillette be able to get this frontside flip off?
Going back to the backside, and he's going to take the zeros across the board.
Yeah, I'm not a mathematician here, Tony, but I don't see him advancing to the final.
Whoa.
Here's David Gonzalez, who kicks that one away. That's his 3rd bail. And tough after a really good score before. So we take another look, just kind of slips up, gets a heel clicker in there at the end for good measure. Up next, though, our current leader, Sean Malto. He's only kicked away 1. See if he can get a 4th consecutive make here.
Hard flip. Kind of overturning it there. Almost saved it, though.
It's a great shot from follow cam.
See his board just turned a little too far.
Yeah. He was having trouble with the hard flip a couple of weeks ago in Portland. He was finally able to land it. We'll see, but no score for him there. But he does hold on to the top spot. A shot where, though, could take it from him with the trick of 7.8 or better. What's the shot got?
Going for a kind of a frontside over crook there. It looked like he was going to maybe come off fakey, but
so that's Ware's first miss of the section. He'll stay in 3rd place. And rounding out heat number 1 is Mikey Taylor, who can also take the overall lead, would need a score of 7.1 or better. Yet to miss here in the impact section.
There's that switch blunt slide that he tried before.
So we'll await his score as we take another look. A 7.0, just missing out on taking over Malto for the top spot. He will stay in 2nd place.
That was interesting. He had already made that trick, but he made it a little sloppy, so I guess he thought that if he could make it cleaner, he would get a better score for it, which he did.
So heat 1 is officially in the books. And some really impressive skating. As you see there, Mikey Taylor checking out the scores. And while Sean Malto's leading the way, Mikey Taylor's got a lot of pressure on him. Putting it down in the impact section. But our current leader, Sean Malto, skating so well today. Heat 2 when we come back. At the impact section of the quarter pipe of Big Air. You are watching Street League Skateboarding Prelim. We're halfway through, just about. Heat number 2 getting ready to take off. Some big names here with a lot at stake. And Tom Asta is one of those guys, as well as Luan Oliveira. Luan's already in the championship, but Tom Asta, one of those 4 guys trying to get the final 2 spots.
Yeah, it would be great to see Luan come through again. I mean, he did really well in Fox Aquazio, but he's got what it takes to win for sure. But I've seen Ryan DeCenzo practicing. He's on fire. I mean, and he came in through the Select Series.
That's right. DeCenzo winning the Select Series yesterday, earning a spot here today, and then also earning a spot into Street League for 2014. So already a successful weekend for Ryan DeCenzo. We'll see him skate in just a second. But here first, Peter Raymondetta is having a little bit of trouble getting around the crew on the course.
Peter having a hard time here on this run.
Yeah, Peter is a shredder, but the flow section's been tough for him this year. He has earned 1 finals appearance in 2013, but he averages a 5.7 here in the flow section, closing on the final 10 seconds.
He's going to throw that run away. Hope for a better one next time.
So time runs out on Peter. A 1.6. Again, each skater getting 2 attempts here in the flow section. We count the best score, so Raymondetta will try to make amends on attempt number 2. But here is Tom Asta. As we said at the top, 4 skaters trying to grab those 2 final spots to get into the Street League Championship next month. He's one of the 4. He's going to need to skate well and then need a little bit of help, so a lot at stake for Asta here today. So Tom's best finish at X Games was 8th back in Foz de Guasu. Has skated well this season.
Yeah, Tom looks like he's a little lost out there. It didn't go as planned, so.
Yeah, one note too is that Tom is battling an ankle injury, which he documented on his Twitter feed earlier in the week. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go. He's a trooper out here today, but here's Ryan DeCenzo, our Select Series winner. And Tony, as you said, watching him out there at practice, he's not just happy to be here. He wants to get into that final.
Yeah, I think he's probably the most familiar with this course at this point.
Yeah,
came through the Select Series. Nice Hurricane. He's already got his lines down. He knows how to step it up. Ollie feeble grind. Look at that. This is like he's just the extension of the Select Series run here.
And let's not forget,
wow,
Ryan is no stranger to X Games. This is his 5th X Games appearance. So even before Street League, he was battling it out with these guys here at X.
Oh man, almost making that backside Smith, but that was a super solid run up to that point with a couple of really hard tricks like this Hurricane.
So a 7.0 for Ryan DeCenzo.
And look at this frontside 360 all the way over the rail. Perfect landing.
Asta's score, by the way, coming in at just a 2.1. So DeCenzo putting together a very solid first attempt here in the flow. So up next, Luan Oliveira, who does have a silver medal at X back in 2011. Would love to get back on that podium. And again, he's already earned a spot in the Street League Super Crown World Championship, but would love a win here in 2013.
Well, getting a little risky there. Come right off the backside tailside and a frontside flip on the pillar. That would be, there's just no time to think right there.
So Luan closing in on his final 10 seconds.
Wow, barely hanging on at this just a manual.
Not sure he's going to be able to get one more in. So a 4.8 for Luan Oliveira, well below his average of an 8.0 in this section this season. We expect more things from him. Here's Bastian Salabanzi.
Bastian has had a couple of close calls with making the finals and being on top and then just not pulling it together at the end. But his flow runs are usually the most exciting.
Easily one of the most exciting skaters out here. In medal at X Games, got a bronze way back in 2004. It's been a little while.
Wow, 6 foot over the rail. Almost not getting over the rail. I'm just going to run out of time, but that was a solid run. May not have packed it with as many tricks as everyone else, but he stayed on, and that's going to count for a lot.
As we take another look, a 6.4 for Bastian Salabanzi.
And look at this 60 foot. He almost didn't get past the rail.
Wow.
But looks good.
Footwork. So a nice score for Bastian. We begin with the second attempts here in the flow section. Peter Raymondetto trying to best that very disappointing 1.6. Already off to a much better start.
Yeah, he started things off with that backside Smith grind, and that's what killed him on the first run. Nice backside nose grind. Oh, missing the frontside flip again. He's going to need to make something here.
So Raymondetto kicking that one away. Not a great run, but should be an improvement of 4.3 from his previous attempt. Again, just getting the news that Tom Asta, one of the 4 skaters, as we said, trying to get in those final 2 spots, is officially out. That ankle just too bothersome. So Tom Asta will not skate on. So that means those 3 skaters are trying to get those 2 spots. Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from yesterday. Select Series, Ryan DeCenzo really put it on from start to finish yesterday.
Yeah, it was just, he was a machine of difficult tricks. 360 flip down the big set. That's pretty much what sealed his fate right there when he made that.
So Ryan DeCenzo earning his way here today and also getting a spot in the Street League next year. There you see Tom Asta on the sideline as he made the call that he just can't go. That ankle injury, just too tough, man. Hate to see Asta unable to finish. But here is DeCenzo on his second attempt at a 7.0 in his first.
It looks like he's sticking with the same line, but I'm sure he'll try to get some more difficult tricks in. Perfect grind. At this point, this is his course. He skated it the most.
Yeah, you can see his familiarity with the obstacles, and then also he's got it timed so well as he closes in on the impact section with time to spare.
Yeah, and there's the backside Smith that he missed on his first run.
Should be an improvement, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would get him into the 8 zone.
Well, the judges don't quite agree with you, Tony. 7.6, but still an improvement.
Well, we can round that off to the nearest whole number, right? We would say it's an 8.
So DeCenzo jumping up. He's already in 5th place. Again, the top 8 skaters from today's prelim will be moving on to tomorrow's final. Here is Luan Oliveira, who's yet to miss a final this season.
Wow, Luan is hitting all the obstacles and keeping his speed up.
Everything just seems to be clicking with him.
I hope they count that mute grab this year. Frontside flip over the rail. Look at him go.
So Luan is trying to top that 4.8 from his previous attempt. Also trying to get back on the podium. Like we said, hasn't gotten a medal here at X since 2011.
Wow, kicks him all the way over the block there. Another mute grab.
2 mute grabs in Luan's run. A much better second attempt.
It's a bummer, though, he'll get marked down for the second mute grab.
A 7.2 for Luan Oliveira, handling his business as he jumps up the ladder.
Wow,
trying to get to the top 8.
I thought that would score much better.
So here is Bastian Salabanzi, had a 6.4 in his first attempt.
Oh, there. That was a nice 360 flip.
Bastian is still trying to get in his first Street League final of 2013.
So board slide. Dodging the cameraman looked like the hardest part of that trick.
So he closes in on the final 10 seconds.
Oh, backside flip, hitting the rail. I mean, I guess we could qualify that as a kickflip backside tail slide.
So a nice finish. Wasn't able to get up for his final ender, but it may not matter. A 7.0, besting his score. Take another look at this.
He hit his tail. I mean, I guess that would qualify more as a kickflip to frontside blunt slide. Yeah, fakey, but completely unintentional.
So Bastian Salabanzi putting together a really nice second attempt to bump up his score. But it's Ryan DeCenzo leading the way, fresh off the Select Series. The Impact section when we return. It's heat number 2, hitting the impact section. Peter Amendetta, attempt number 1.
I don't think it's going to count with hands down.
And no score for Peter again. Each skater getting 5 attempts here in the impact section. We count the 3 top scores. Here's Ryan DeCenzo.
It's that blunt slide. Not a problem.
We take another look. A 6.5 for DeCenzo.
That would look sick if these scores went away.
Here's Luan Oliveira doing what Luan does.
Inside flip.
So a 7.1 clocking in for Luan Oliveira, jumping him up in the 5th place. Again, the top 8 skaters from today's prelim will move on to tomorrow's Street League final. Here's a guy in search of his first finals appearance of the year, Bastian Salabanzi.
Oh, backside flip. I wouldn't say it was a hand down, it was a finger down.
That is a lot of ground to cover as we take another look. A 6.8 for Bastian.
So solid.
Making it look too easy. So it's attempts number 2 time Peter Amendetta. There he is.
So Smith guy
able to put some points on the board. If you're just joining us, Tom Asta's ankle injury, too much to bear. So he is no longer skating in heat number 2 and all but taking himself out of contention for those final 2 spots to get into next month's championship. So no Tom Asta here. And here's the guy trying to skate tomorrow's final, Ryan DeCenzo.
Oh, switch feeble, not quite getting his truck on.
So as we take another look.
So right here, he's trying to get a switch feeble. He wants to get his back truck grinding. It did not go to a grind, and usually that will make you give up the trick, but he stuck with it, so it turned into an accidental board slide. Not a good scoring trick, though. Although that will be Luan Oliveira's hard flip.
Call that a Luan flip. Check out this action from the follow cam. It's perfect. Chase from the barracks right there filming that. So you know it's good. Luan, a 7.9 for him. He's just jumping up the score ladder. Here's Bastian.
Oh, Bastian.
So Street League actually posted a video on Instagram a little earlier today. Let's check that out if we can. Check this out. Mikey Taylor, Sean Malto, seeing some action from heat number 1. They like that Instagram video update. So Peter Raymondetta put down his 3rd attempt, but unsuccessful. Let's see where it went wrong.
Just didn't quite get the 180 turn that he wanted there.
So that's 2 bails for Peter. Cannot afford another one. Up next, though, Ryan DeCenzo. Yet to miss here in the impact section, as Tony said. Just looks so comfortable on this course.
Switch bull slide, fakie right there. In his home park.
A 6.6 for DeCenzo, and that jumps him up into 3rd place overall. Again, these guys aren't just competing against their own heat. They have 4 heats today. Here's Luan Oliveira. No.
Luan can afford to take some risks, but he doesn't want to get. He needs to get another score.
Here's Bastian Salamanza. He's already in the top 8.
Oh, wow. Nice 360 flip. Full speed there.
Bastian wants a finals appearance in the worst way. A 7.0 for Bastian, jumping him up into 6th place. And just appreciate how proper that was. So here's Peter Raymondetta, attempt number 4.
Trying to get that nose grind 180 out.
So Pete struggling here with his 3rd miss. Up next, though, Ryan DeCenzo, who's leading this heat. He's in 3rd place overall.
That hard flip, he saw that that Luan got a good score for it, so he might as well go for it too.
Well, here's Luan.
Oh, wow. Switch, frontside flip. For some reason, he's not happy with it. I would be completely satisfied with that.
Luan said, you want to know something about a flip trick? Here's a free tip. An 8.2 for Luan Oliveira, and that is a section high for the entire prelim thus far. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I can see why he'd be disappointed on that.
And Luan, with that score, takes over the top spot. He is in 1st place overall. Here's Bastian.
Whoa. Nose grind, backside lip slide. I don't know if that was intentional, but it seemed like it.
So that is Bastian's 2nd miss of the section, and it's final attempt time. Brandon Graham and Tony Hawk here in the booth. Jordan Whitley down on the course, and it's Peter Raymondetta on the 5th and final attempt.
Peter wanted that backside nose grind, backside 180 out.
Well, despite the 4 misses, Peter very positive. Starting the applause himself. Here's DeCenzo trying to get into tomorrow's final.
Switch feeble.
That'll help. Currently sitting in 4th place. His score coming in at a 6.4, and DeCenzo jumping up into 2nd place overall. So a really nice day for DeCenzo.
Oh, very heel flip.
Luan Oliveira, who's been putting up top scores all day long in the impact section, an 8.1 as we see this one more time.
Wow, look at that. His board overturned a little bit. He caught it and put it back to where it needed to be.
So Luan's prelim day is over, and he's got the top spot, looking like he will be skating in tomorrow's final. Here's Bastian.
Oh, wow. Backside nose grind, backside lip slide to fakie. It's like he's dancing on the rail there.
So Bastian's score comes in a 7.8, and that jumps him up into second place, Tony. He wants to skate in tomorrow's final.
He needed that trick for sure. Look at this. Just touches his truck, touches his board, and then comes in backwards.
Again, there are some heavy hitters still to follow in the next two heats. So you really had to put it all out there. So with these top scores from Luan, Bastian, and DeCenzo, they take over the top 3 spots. So we are halfway through here in the prelims, and it's Luan Oliveira as our leader.
This is my first time in Brazil, my first time overseas, my first X Games, and now my first gold medal.
Bryce who?
Bryce for being a warrior. I mean, I caught up with him yesterday during practice, and his ankle is busted, man.
Yeah, we've seen him overcome injuries, though, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, leading up to X Games. But this heat is still stacked. You know, Shane O'Neill, don't count him out. I really thought he was on his way to winning in the last event, and he just couldn't pull it through in the impact section. But he had some of the leading scores in the flow.
Shane is one of those guys that is trying to get those final 2 spots into next month's championship. He will kick things off here in the flow section.
As long as Shane's relaxed, he just kills it.
Yep. With Shane, it tends to be more of a mental game than anything else because he's as talented as any skateboarder on the planet. Again, the format here in the flow section, each skater getting 2 45-second attempts. We count their best score.
Wow, nollie flip to manual. Nollie flips that board slide. He just makes everything look so easy.
Shane closing in on the final seconds. So a very solid first run for Shane O'Neill. As we take another look, his score coming in a 7.6 for Shane.
And here's the last trick that we didn't see, but it's nose manual to nollie flip out right at time.
Like nothing. So here is Matt Miller. Matt originally from San Francisco. He's currently 12th in the Street League rankings. Attempt number 1.
Not coming out on that 360 flip over the bar. We've seen a few guys do that now. And it's never easy for any of them.
This is Matt's 4th X Games appearance, yet to medal, yet to make a Street League final as well. Hope to make some noise here in LA. The final 10 seconds.
All the obstacles, but just spectacular there at the end.
So Matt surveying the course, and the judges agree with you, Tony, a 4.1 for Matt. They'll have to do some work on the second attempt. Up next, though, Tommy Sandoval, and right away, going hair in the ponytail bun. We haven't seen that from him this year. Usually lets the mane fly.
It's all business this time.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Oh, wow. Tip flip up the ledge there, and this is a good run so far. Oh, backside flip all the way over the pyramid. And I think that's going to end it for him.
So Tommy will try and improve upon that in his second attempt. He does have a couple X Games medals to his name. Here is Billy Marks, Street League veteran. This is his 10th X Games appearance. the top 8 from today's prelim move on to the Street League final tomorrow afternoon.
Nice, kick the board slide there.
Wow. Okay. Able to hold on to it there. Closing in for one final trick.
Oh, missing kickflip down the stairs.
Not sure it would have counted for Billy as his score comes in at a 4.3. Up next, though, a guy who is no stranger to X Games, Ryan Sheckler, who in 2003 won a gold medal at the age of 13 years old.
And you can just see, how his style came through even back then. The way he would catch his flip tricks and the determination, and here he is, still killing it.
Outside of the braces, I wouldn't say he's looked like he's aged too much this decade. So here's Ryan Sheckler. We have not seen him since X Games Barcelona. He's at the bottom of the Street League rankings. So the only way, wow, he could get in to the championship would be to win this thing outright. We'll see how much the ankle factors in here today. I'm just pumped to see Sheckler skating again.
Oh man, kickflip 5-0, missing the truck, but hanging on. This guy has experience. Nice kickflip, backside tail slide. Little wobbler in, yeah. No. Don't chance it, Ryan.
So let's take a look at the top as he hit the quarter.
Trying to go 5-0 to switch crooks. Didn't get it, but forced his board into place there. That was more impressive than actually doing the trick to me.
So Sheckler's score coming in at a 5.5. Again, each skater getting 2 attempts here in the flow section. So the bar has been set. Up next, though, Shane O'Neill, who set the pace for heat number 3 with a 7.6 on attempt number 1. Again, as we said from the top, Shane, one of those bubble guys trying to get a championship spot. Needs to skate well, needs a little help. Certainly has the tools to do it.
Shane might be coming back for that 6-foot no slide. He knows that's a good enough trick, and it's worth trying again. And then just, if you're not going to make it across, might as well go into a manual on the pad. And his first run was still super solid. I think he's still a contender.
He lets that last trick slip away, a 5.8. He will hold on to his first attempt of that 7.6. Now here is Matt Miller on his second flow attempt. Again, the top 8 advancing to tomorrow's final. Peter Raymondetta right now in that 8th bubble position.
Wow, I'm having a hard time with the kicks up the wedge there. Almost think he was going for a double. Missing that Molly nose grind. I think that's about going to do it unless he can get one more trick in.
Not the type of performance in the flow section Matt was looking for. Wasn't really able to showcase that world-class pop that he has. A 4.9 for him there, though. No matter where in the world you are, what time it is for you right now, you can join the X Games Los Angeles conversation. Log on to xgames.com and check out exclusive content, as well as videos and real-time results pages. Join us on Twitter or Instagram and get in on the conversation. using the hashtag XGames. Like us on Facebook and vote for the X Games moment of the day. Tony, here's Tommy Sandoval taking a different start to his second attempt.
Oh, wow. Tommy trying to kickflip over the whole manual pad. Didn't look like it was going to happen at all, but he almost forced it to. Here we go. All the way over the pyramid.
Tommy just skates with so much power. It will cover a lot of ground on this course.
Having a hard time. I think his board's not cooperating, clearly.
So he'll try and squeeze one more in off the volcano, and no. So not the attempt he was looking for. He had a 3.4 on his previous attempt. Not sure this one will be much better, a 1.1. Judge is killing him. So he'll hold on to that first score of a 3.4. Here's Billy Marks trying to best a 4.3 in attempt number 1.
Nice kickflip board slide. He missed that on his first run.
So Billy averages a 4.9 this season in the flow section. And anyone would be slow to get off from that. Still got time on the clock though, Billy. Ten seconds to go. See him attack the impact section. Crack, crack, crack. So ends with the firecracker. Here was that
360 flip, lip slide, missing his front foot, and then just scrambling to get away from his skateboard.
So Billy scored a 2.7. He'll hold on to that 4.3. Here is Sheckler. Didn't have a perfect first run by any means.
Oh no, missing that front side.
But looking to up that score.
Oh, there we go. 5-0 to switch cricket grind. I don't think that first miss is going to count for very much. Oh no, that is the missing his back truck again. That stuff looks slippery.
Yeah, and you can even see Sheckler hobbling to go grab his board. I mean, it's no joke. He's in pain right now. So tough finish for Sheckler in the flow section. They're probably going to hold on to that 5.5 from his first attempt. As we take another look.
Right there, you can see how slippery that ledge is just by when his foot touches it. He has no traction at all.
Yeah, so a 2.8 for Sheckler. He'll try and gain some ground in the impact section. But nonetheless, it is good to see Ryan Sheckler back on his skateboard, because he's capable of doing things like this. When we come back, we hit the impact section. Will kick things off again. Shane O'Neill needing a great showing today.
So far, so good.
Wasting little time. Shane, as we said, trying to get one of those final 2 spots in the championship next month. A 5.3 for him there. He is in the 8th spot, already bumping out Peter Raymondetta. Here is Matt Miller. So no score for Matt there again. The format here in the prelims in the impact section, each skater getting 5 attempts. We count the 3 top scores. Tommy Sandoval.
Inside flip, looks good.
So Tommy Sandoval, we get a nice shot here. He's had some highlight-worthy tricks this year in the impact section. A 6.9 for Tommy. Here is Billy Marks.
Nice, solid kickflip.
Textbook for Billy, understanding the strategy, putting some safety scores together, get some numbers on the board. A 5.5 for Billy Marks. And again, the top 8 from today's prelim will be moving on to tomorrow afternoon's final. So this is where you start to see guys bouncing around. Here's Ryan Sheckler.
Sheckler, frontside blunt slide. Super clean. You can tell, even when he lands, it's still difficult for him with his ankle.
So Sheckler's score coming in at a 6.6. And he starts climbing up the ladder, up into 9th place. Here is Shane O'Neill already in the top 8.
Oh. Switch kickflip.
Shane just making it look ridiculously easy. A 7.3. And he jumps up into 7th place. David Gonzalez now in that 8th bubble spot. Here's Matt Miller with his second attempt.
Matt having a hard time coming off that nose grind.
So that is Matt's second straight miss. Up next, though, Tommy Sandoval, already a 6.9.
Tommy looks like he's going for a nose grind. Sliding his front foot all the way over the nose so that he had no more board to work with.
Here is Billy Marks.
Heel grind.
And Billy putting together a couple of nice tricks back to back. A 3.8 there, but you just see the length that is this 15-foot long impact section with a 4-foot drop. And now Ryan Sheckler, already a 6.6.
Missing the backside tail slide there.
Unable to land that. Again, Sheckler dealing with a pretty serious ankle injury. Wasn't even sure if he was going to skate today. We'll take another look. Yeah, it looks like his foot just slipped off there.
Yeah, just his front foot was slipping off, and he had to bail it out.
So no score for checks. We begin with attempts number 3. Shane O'Neill.
Oh, wow. Switch 360 flip. Almost had it.
So that is Shane's first miss. See that one more time.
Just landed with his toes hanging off a little too much, so he couldn't lean back to his heels.
Here's Matt Miller looking for his first make of the section.
There it is.
So a smart play by Matt to get the points on the board. A 5.9 for him there. Bit of an uphill battle. He'll need to land a couple big tricks on his final 2 attempts. Here's Tommy Sandoval.
Nice. Frontside over crook.
So Tommy Sandoval, 4.9 for him there, creeping up into that 9th position. Again, David Gonzalez in that 8th bubble spot from a previous heat. And still another heat of skaters to go. Here's Billy Marks.
Oh, Billy going for a double kick flip. Kind of flipped it too far there.
So that's Billy's first miss of the section. And here's Sheckler rounding out attempt number 3.
Oh, wow. Sheckler will pull those off at any cost, even if it means his body's twisted the completely wrong way when he lands.
So a 6.7 for Ryan Sheckler, and he jumps in, at least momentarily, into the top 8, bouncing out Gonzalez. Again, the top 8 will be advancing to tomorrow's final. Here's Shane O'Neill, hoping to join him.
Oh, switch to 6 flip. It looked like he was shocked that he made it.
And Tony, as we take another look at this from Shane, he's currently in 7th. A 9.0. Shane O'Neill back in the 9 club. That's actually half of what he pulled off in Portland a couple weeks ago with the switch double tray.
Oh, that was solid, too.
A 9.0 for Shane O'Neill, the first 9 of the prelim. And Shane O'Neill jumping up into second place, getting into rare air there in the 9 club. Shane, of course, just a couple weeks ago, tying the highest Street League score ever with the 9.9. Here's Matt Miller.
Matt was going for the nollie nose grind, 180 out.
So Matt Miller with a 2.6 clocking in there. But to give you an idea on what 9s have looked like here at X Games, there was just a couple of them in Foz out of 234 tricks attempted. Same deal in Barcelona, 0.9%. Then Munich had a few more, but that just goes to show you 2.6% of the tricks landed in Munich. 9s, tough to come by. There's one guy who can pull it off, no problem. Shane O'Neill. Here's Tommy Sandoval.
Ooh, going for the lip slide, shove it out.
So Tommy still on the outside looking in. That's his second miss, trying to get into the top 8. Here's Billy Marks. A score of 5.3 would get him into the top 8.
Going for a switch, front side. Big heel flip.
So here's Ryan Sheckler. He's in that 8th spot. Could use some insurance here. Unable to land that, really putting a lot of pressure on himself to make a big score on his 5th and final attempt, which we begin now. Shane O'Neill.
Shane's not holding anything back there, but he does have 3 makes.
Yep, including that 9. So Shane could have afforded to knock away a couple. He looks to be in good position. Obviously some heavy hitters to follow in heat number 4, but he's in second place. Here's Matt Miller.
Oh, that was nice. Nose grind, 180 out.
Matt needed a 5.5 or better to jump into the top 8. He gets a 6.9, so Matt Miller, at least momentarily, bumping out Sheckler to get that 8th spot. So here's Tommy Sandoval. A 5.2 or better would get him in, but no. Interesting. So Tommy Sandoval will not be moving on to tomorrow's final. Here's Billy Marks.
Oh, nice double kickflip.
The double kickflip from Billy Marks. He needed a 6.8 or better to bump out Matt Miller. Gets a 7.8, so Billy Marks takes over the 8th spot, bumping out Matt Miller. So here's Ryan Sheckler, decision time. A score of 2.7 or better will get him into the finals group. Not sure if it would hold with some of the big names to follow, but he would at least for temporarily get into the top 8. We'll see what he decides to do.
He was not going to play it safe there. He's going for a backside tail slide. Looked like a kickflip out.
And you see that right ankle he's hobbling on. And Tony, that probably was the smart play. If he were to pull it off, it would have given him a little bit of insurance. But Sheckler is officially eliminated, will not move on to the final as we look at this one more time.
See his tail just stuck there right when he was about to flip it, and then right to his right ankle.
Putting all the impact there on the right foot. So Ryan Sheckler, all smiles, but he was a warrior out there today. Wasn't even sure if he was going to skate. As we take a look at the standings after 3 heats in, here the prelim, of course, the top 8 advancing in the final. Luan and Shane right there at the top. Got to keep your eyes on a Shad Ware in that 7th position. Matt Miller at the 8th bubble spot. Ryan Sheckler, although he did have a nice day, unable to get into that final 8 group. Shane O'Neill joining the 9 club, bumping all the way up to second place. Nigel Houston and the rest of the crew hit the course next. A 5.1 if he wants to live to see tomorrow.
Ah, that's it. Yes. 270 to switch crooks. That'll do it for sure.
A 7.6 for Nigel. Here is Nigel Houston. You want to talk nerves of steel? It all comes down to this for the win. Whoa. Take 2.
Oh,
Over the hubba. And Nigel Houston on the last trick of the contest takes it away, defending his gold medal. Well, there you see Nigel Houston already with a couple of gold medals this year. Been battling a rib injury that kept him out of X Games Munich, and a very early exit out of the last Street League stop in Portland, which gave way to Paul Rodriguez, who is our current Street League World Tour points leader. Got his first win of the season in that Portland event. Already a couple silver medals, but Tony, he's been very close here on this X stage this year.
yeah, it has literally come down to the last trick, the last few events, but Nigel just came in and swooped it with that hard flip.
And then, of course, in Munich, looked like he was aiming towards sewing this thing up, but then Chris Cole came out and put it down, taking the lead. P-Rod had a chance to get it back and just didn't stay on.
It was so close there.
So Chris Cole getting back to the gold medal podium finishes that we've seen from him in the past year at X Games, and then getting his first Street League win of his career. So the heaviest of the heavy, Tony, here in heat number 4. I would garner to say that any of these guys have a crack at getting into the final. Eric Costin filling in for an injured Chaz Ortiz, a late addition, but of course anchored by the 3 big dogs, Nigel, Chris Cole, and Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah, nobody that is in the positions 4th through 8th right now should feel comfortable.
Yeah, Torrey Pudwell also in there, and Dylan Reeder, of course, skating this course very creatively in practice. There you see P-Rod checking out the scores, knowing exactly what's at stake. And here is Dylan Reeder kicking things off in the flow section.
All right, good to see. We got a bonus in the last heat. Oh, wow. Smith going up the hubba. No one has gone up that thing yet.
Again, each skater getting 2 attempts here in the flow section. We count the best score, with the top 8 from today's prelim advancing to tomorrow's final. Dylan Reeder in perhaps the most stylish tank top I've ever seen.
And Dylan, he's doing the last trick, but that was a rough one for him.
Well, enhance your second screen experience. Log on to xgames.com/results for real-time results and videos of your favorite events here in Los Angeles. So Dylan's score clocking in at a 4.7. He'll chill and wait for his second attempt. Here's Torrey Pudwell.
Whoa! Sorry, barely hanging on that backside rip slide.
Torrey has already earned a spot in the Street League Super Crown World Championship. He's one of the 6 guys that's safe, but still in search of that first win. Would love to get another podium finish. Place he hasn't been since X Games Brazil.
Heavily relying on the wax factor here. Nice. Backside Smith grind. This is a great run.
So very solid thus far for Torrey. One more trick if he can get it off.
the hubba, but I don't think that's going to hurt him at all. And look at this backside lip slide over the A-frame, just forcing it through the wax there.
This is how it ended, a 6.6 for Torrey Pudwell. Again, this is the last line of guys that can get in to the final 8. Billy Marks is sitting in that 8th spot, as is Sean Ware in the 7th, Mikey Taylor in the 6th. A lot at stake here. Here's Eric Costin, a legend that needs no introduction, especially on the X Games stage.
Eric has been an alternate at every event and managed to squeak into a couple of them.
It's the Frosted World Tour. This keeps on strolling along. Eric took gold in this event 10 years ago, and that was actually his last podium finish here at X Games.
It is nice to see Eric trying, though.
Final 10 seconds for Eric. So he hits the quarter.
Oh, I take that back.
Well, the crowd loves it. Costin's score comes in at a 3.4. And here now, Nyjah Houston has looked so on point in practice this week, Tony.
Yeah, surprising, right?
Yeah, considering we actually haven't seen Nyjah win an event in, what, 6 weeks? That'll be the longest drought of his career.
Yeah, he was coming off an injury too, but looks like he's definitely been practicing.
Yeah, that rib injury that slowed him down in Portland and kept him out of Munich seems to not be a factor out here in LA today.
Wow, just back-to-back cat lip slide, then nose one slide. All these tricks are so difficult. It's that blunt slide.
And Tony, again, no one has their runs timed better than Nyjah Houston, using up all 45 seconds of the clock. Sure, we can expect a great score, 8.0 for Nyjah Houston. And that is the top score in the flow section for the day.
Yeah, this whole run was jam-packed with difficulty here.
When you know it, Nyjah averages an 8 in the flow section, so clinical and precise and consistent. Here's Chris Cole. Last time we saw him on the X Games stage, he was winning a gold medal in Munich. Not starting things off the way he'd like, though.
Chris can skate anything, though, so if his run gets disrupted by a fall, he'll just jump in and do stuff he didn't plan. Wow. Forcing that hurricane back into place. Nice.
Final 10 seconds for Chris here.
10 seconds left.
Whoa!
Somehow stays on.
Nose one slide to sloppy manual. Still works.
So as we take another look, Chris's score comes in at a 5.7. Again, each skater getting 2 attempts in the flow section. Chris riding that one out.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
And rounding out the 4th and final heat, fresh off a win at Street League in Portland, Paul Rodriguez.
Paul, one of the few skaters who you really can't tell which way he's supposed to be skating, but so far, all switch stuff.
This is P-Rod's 13th X Games appearance. He's got 4 gold medals to his name.
Switch back to the tail slide. So far, nothing in his so-called natural stance. Switch to sissy flip. Wow.
Final 5 for P-Rod.
Switch crooked grind. This entire run was done backwards.
Yeah.
So does that make it backwards? At what point
Is it still switch? When does it reverse? That's what I want to know.
When can you actually switch?
So P-Rod right behind Nyjah, a 7.9 on this run, and he didn't even get to his ender in the impact section.
Right here, backside tail slide, exactly how you wish you'd do yours on your regular stance.
And for the fans watching at home, Uncle Paul rocks. It's just, he makes it, it's so extraordinary that he makes it look so ordinary for him.
Yeah, I mean, even down to how he pushes and how he stops. It just looks natural.
So here's Dylan Reeder on his second attempt.
Dylan Reeder with backside tail slide to super shifty footwork.
Dylan trying to best the score of 4.7 from his previous attempt. He averages a 6.5 in the flow this year.
Oh, wow. Crazy kickflip.
Just letting it slip away.
On this last run, he hit the rail on that trick.
And I think Dylan's going to call it an attempt. As time expires, try and make up some ground in the impact section will Dylan Reeder. After a 4.7.
Navy wall ride to round it out.
A 3.2, yeah, so he will hold on to that first score. Here's Torrey Pudwell, sitting on a 6.6.
Oh, nice. Backside lip slide into a tail slide. Oh, look at him just dancing around the ledges here. Last score. Wow, lip slide to switch crooks.
Just sticking it. Torrey Pudwell.
Backside Smith, this is definitely going to score better than his last run. Oh, man.
Keeping the beanie this time. Final 5 seconds. Watch out, Paul.
Backside nose one slide on the buzzer. That could be one of our best scoring runs.
That
today.
would be the best run of the day. Torrey Pudwell, an 8.3. The judges agree. A new high score in the flow section. And Torrey Pudwell making it look easy.
Wow, that wax is really working to his advantage.
And nobody waxes like Torrey Pudwell.
Right there, backside nose one slide, just perfect. And he kept his hat on the whole run. Bonus points.
Proud of you, Torrey. So up next, Eric Costin trying to top at 3.4. And as we chatted about before, keep on going. Eric, of course, was an alternate this year, but somehow has been able to skate in every event because of injuries. But any contest with Costin in it is a good one. As he closes in on the final 15 seconds.
Nice, early grab judo.
Here he goes to hit this outlet.
Oh, wow, early grab, backside 360. As funny as that is extremely difficult.
Yeah,
it's almost more difficult than you see guys doing backside 360s because you've got to literally muscle it around.
Giving the people what they want, slightly upgrade from his first score, getting a 3.7 there. Check this out one more time, Tony.
That should count for something.
What's my score, he asked. A 3.7. So here's Nyjah Houston at a very solid 8 on the dot in his first attempt.
I hope Nyjah does an early grab.
Don't see that happening, but
I can dream.
Nyjah just so on point.
Tap, backside lip slide fake. That is an incredibly difficult trick that he does every single time.
And again, Tony, this is just the prelim. Nyjah expects to get in the final. We expect him to get in the final. You can't assume that this is all he has to offer this weekend.
Wow. Finishing off frontside blunt slide.
Better than his first attempt?
He's about on par.
Well, the judges liked it a little bit more. An 8.5 for Nyjah Houston, a new high score for the day in the flow section.
I'm a big fan of that trick right there. Cab, backside lip slide.
That is huge for Nyjah Houston. He doesn't like to be cornered. So if he sees someone else with the top score, you know he's got how do I best it in his mind. Here's Chris Cole on attempt number 2, trying to best a 5.7.
There we go. He had trouble with that on his first time, but now it's all systems go.
Looks a little bit smoother than attempt number 1.
Definitely.
Already getting so many tricks in with 15 seconds still to play.
Holding on to it for dear life there. Oh, nollie no slide. Making it work this time.
Can't stick that finisher, but a great second run for Chris Cole. A 7.3. So an upgrade already. Everyone so far in this heat scoring better on their second attempts. There's P-Rod with his hat prayer ritual, trying to up his 7.9. It's a pretty flawless first run though, Tony.
Yeah, I would say he's in a pretty comfortable position right now. But
yeah, if anything, he just ran out of time to get to his ender in the impact section.
But still all switch here.
Yeah.
Oh, switch backside Smith grind.
Regular is a rarity whenever P-Rod is on the course.
Look at that. The only time he's riding forward, he's turned it back around.
So final seconds for P-Rod.
Yeah, that would have been a higher score just because of he chose to do more difficult tricks in the same line.
Yeah. So his score coming in at a 7.2. Tony, he's going to hold on to that first score of 7.9.
But still an incredible display of talent and difficulty.
So the flow section for heat number 4 in the books. It's our heavy hitters. Chris Cole starting things off proper. And then, of course, P-Rod slaying this course. But it was Nyjah Houston with the top overall score. The impact section when we come back. Here's a look at our overall standings thus far. Again, the top 8 skaters will be advancing to tomorrow's final. And you have to keep your eyes on those bubble spots. Of course, Billy Marks there in 8th, Ashad Ware in 7th, Mikey Taylor at 6th. With the heavy hitters of Nyjah and P-Rod and Chris Cole still to hit the impact section, no one is safe in those bottom spots. There you see Billy Marks. Wondering how long. I think he may even know the answer as he's shaking his head. He could get potentially knocked out real quick here. Here's Dylan Reeder starting things off in the impact section.
Nice. Lip slide. Coming up to a grind there at the very last millisecond.
6.9 for Dylan Reeder. Liking that long out rail. Again, each skater getting 5 attempts here in the impact section. We count the 3 top scores. Here's Tori Pudwell.
Oh, backside Smith, 180 out.
And again, this is where strategy comes into play. You want to stack up those safety scores, get those points on the board so you can afford to take risks at the end of the section. A 6.6 for Torrey Pudwell, putting himself in great position to get into the final 8. Here's Eric Costin, attempt number 1.
They're trying to get a nose manual there, dropping his back wheels, and that's the end of that one.
Yep, a 0.9 for Costin on attempt number 1.
God, just give him a 1. Can we just at least give him a 1?
The brutal, show no mercy. Here's Nigel Houston taking on the rail.
Oh, kick from front board. That's going to score better than a 1.
Survey says, as we take another look for Nigel Houston, a 7.5. And he knows a thing or two about the impact section as these guys look to jump into the final. Here now, Chris Cole in his first attempt.
Blunt slide, fakey right there.
So again, the top 8 from today's prelim will move on to tomorrow's final, but there are still those 2 final championship spots up for grabs. Another storyline that we will be getting into in just a bit. Here's Paul Rodriguez on his first attempt.
Missing that switchback to tail slide.
Uncharacteristic. That's usually a staple for P-Rod to miss on his first attempt. We can be sure he'll be going back to that one. And it's attempt number 2 time for the 4th and final heat, with Dylan Reeder looking to make it 2 in a row.
Oh, backside lip slide, shove it out.
Cannot stay on it there. As Dylan bails away his first. Up next, Torrey Pudwell. Torrey, a 6.6 or better, gets him into the top 8, bumping out Billy Marks.
Nice. Backside Smith to backside tail slide. He loves those combos, ledge combos.
And Billy, we hardly knew ye. Marks officially eliminated as T-Puds jumps into the top 8, getting that 8th spot with the 7.0 there. So Billy sits down. Gave it all he got, though. So Torrey Pudwell, at least for the time being, is in the top 8. Here's Eric Costin, trying to best a 0.9.
Manual to firecracker.
Firecrackering the steps. You can be sure that no one else is pulling that off in the impact section. A 3.8, Tony.
That is, as somewhat goofy as that seems, that is not easy.
Look at him talking to the judges over there, pandering. I mean, Eric, what more do you want? Here's Nigel Houston, a score of 6-0 or better gets him into the top 8.
That'll do it. Kickflip back lip right there.
So an 8.4 for Nigel Houston. Welcome in. He jumps all the way up to 7th place, bumping out his buddy Torrey, at least momentarily, and that puts Ashad Ware into the bubble spot. Remember, Ashad was one of the 3 guys that was gunning for those final 2 championship spots. Interesting. Here's Chris Cole. So Chris needing to build some scores to get into that final 8 group. A 7.0, pacing himself really well to get into that top 8. He's not there yet, but that certainly helps. Here's P-Rod, who will need a make here.
That'll do it right there. Switch back to tail slide.
It's rare to see him miss that once. You almost never see it twice as he makes good on his 2nd attempt. An 8.1 for P-Rod, putting himself good position to get into the top 8.
So clean all the way across too.
That's 15 feet in length, that out ledge. So it's attempt number 3 time. Dylan Marks, what do you want from me? I'm already knocked out. Dylan Reeder.
It looks like a shot is next on the chopping block here.
Yep. So here's Dylan, attempt number 3.
Oh, that looked like it should have worked right there.
Oh, so close. And that shove out, but no score. So that's his second miss. Dylan cannot afford another one. So here's Torrey Pudwell, already in the final 8.
Wow. Backside Tesla, 270 out.
Gnarly, excuse me. He was actually bumped out momentarily. He was in 9th position. That you can be sure an 8.7 for Torrey, skyrocketing him all the way up into 2nd place overall. And Ashad Ware has officially been eliminated. There you see Ashad.
I mean, if you really look back on the first heat, it is shocking that he is eliminated.
So crazy. As great as Ashad skated, he will not be skating in tomorrow's final. Still, though, a lot of scenarios to play out to see what happens, him getting one of those 2 spots. Eric Costin might just want to stick with the old school tricks. Appears to have lost his board. Watch out. It's a 4-foot drop there, my man. So no score for Eric on his 3rd attempt. Here is Nigel Houston, already in the top 8. This one could be some insurance, though.
Switch frontside blunt slide.
Take another look at the switch front blunt. And 8.7 for Nigel Houston. So he's just stacking scores. We have a new leader, Nigel Houston, taking overall the top overall spot. And with that, Mikey Taylor now in that 8th bubble position as Chris Cole unable to land there. So putting a little pressure on himself. Tony, what went wrong here?
Right here, it looks like frontside flip, and he just was leaning back.
Yeah, just way back.
Switch frontside flip though, and
so Mikey Taylor, as we said before, along with Ashad and Shane, one of those 3 guys, he's on the bubble spot right now. P-Rod.
Switch 50-50. I've never seen him do that.
Interesting. Needed an 8.
As impossibly hard as that is for everyone else, that seems somewhat basic for him.
A 6.6 for Paul, really positioning himself well. Still not in the final 8 group, but you can be sure with a solid make on his next attempt, he will jump in. But Mikey Taylor in that bubble spot in that 8th position. Here's Dylan Reeder, attempt number 4.
Oh, decides not to shove it out on that one.
He already had 2 bails. Remember, we count the 3 best scores out of the 5 attempts. A 5.0 for Dylan. Just looking to get some points on the board. So here's Torrey Pudwell. He could actually steal the overall lead from Nigel with a 9 club, 9.2 or better.
Wow. Backside Smith grind, backside flip out. He's really been consistent on this. I believe he'll go for that again, and most likely will make it.
So that's Torrey's first miss of the impact section. And we move on now to Eric Costin, who's been creative, to say the least, here today.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
So no score for Costin there. And we move on to our current overall leader, Nigel Houston. He's yet to miss.
Oh, man. Crooked grind knowledge about.
Just stepping off there is Nigel Houston, but of course he could afford to kick away another one. Take another look.
Everything looked good too. You look how he positions his foot while he's grinding, and front foot
slipped off.
Slipped off right last second.
So there you see Mikey Taylor. He's in that bubble spot, really looking to get into tomorrow's final. Wants one of those final 2 championship spots. We'll see if it holds. Chris Cole needs a 6.7 or better to bump him out.
Oh, switch frontside flip. Chris Cole. That's going to do it.
And Mikey Taylor.
And if you look back at how Mikey skated the first heat too, it's shocking to see him be out.
So a 7.6 for Chris Cole. Take another look at this textbook here for Cole, and Mikey Taylor is officially eliminated. So believe it or not, that actually puts Sean Malto, Tony, in the bubble spot.
I would have never guessed.
So if P-Rod lands a trick of 4.4 or better, Sean Malto will be officially eliminated.
Switch, backside lip slide. That's going to do it right there.
See ya, Sean. Showing no mercy, and Malto realizes that he will not skate on to tomorrow. An 8.2 for P-Rod. He jumps up in the 3rd overall. So Malto officially eliminated, and P-Rod doing what P-Rod does. An 8.2 for him there. So here's
so unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know,
isn't that crazy to think?
After that first heat, after seeing what they did and how consistent they were.
Malto, Mikey, and Ashad, all three skated so well, and they will not move on to tomorrow's final. In fact, I heard some people in some circles, Tony, that thought Malto might be the guy to beat in this contest, given this course.
I mean, I would have said that earlier today.
So Dylan Reeder, no score there. He will not move on to the final. Here's Torrey Pudwell, who again could take the overall lead away with a score of 9.2 or better.
There we go. Oh, backside Smith, backside flip out. He didn't need it though.
No, he's already in. He stays in 4th place overall. So we will see more of Torrey tomorrow. And here is Eric Costin. What's he got for his 5th and final attempt?
Ollie switch manual to there's going to be a switch 360 out. I don't know. I like the early grab 360 myself.
So 3 straight misses for Costin. His day is over. Here's Nigel Houston. He is your overall leader. What's he got?
Oh wow! Different guy, no flip out. He didn't need that either, though.
No.
He's already the leader. It would have been a victory run.
Unable to make good there as we take another look. It's 2 straight bails for Nigel, but it doesn't matter as we will see him skate tomorrow in the final. Up next, though, Chris Cole. He sits in 7th place. The best he could do here, 2nd. He would need a 9.6 or better to pull it off, though.
Whoa.
Pretty heavy.
Switch blunt slide, just sort of kissing the rail, so to speak.
Even with the slapping of the pavement, a 4.0 for Chris. As we see that one more time. And here's Paul Rodriguez, who could take the overall top spot on the last trick of prelims away from Nigel with a 9 club. Would need a 9 or better here.
Switch nose grind. I don't think that's going to be a 9, but that difficulty factor is way up there.
A 7.5 for P-Rod, jumping him up into 2nd place, leapfrogging Luan Oliveira. And no surprise, Nigel and P-Rod qualifying 1 and 2 for tomorrow's final. So with that, the prelims are officially in the books. So an amazing day of skating. Really shocking outcome, Tony, when you consider, like we said before, some incredible skating going on and some amazing performances really for naught, as guys like Malto, guys like Mikey Taylor and Ashad Ware unable to advance to tomorrow's final.
It's basically the entire first heat got eliminated.
Yeah, really, it really is. And also, Ryan DeCenzo, our Select Series winner, getting on to the final.
That's great, though, because it really did look like he's comfortable on this course. You know, he didn't breeze through the Select Series, but he was on fire.
Well, let's go down to Jordan, who's on the course with Sean Malto.
Well, Sean, it's not something we're used to seeing you not making the finals. You were in that first heat. Were you surprised that your scores didn't hold up?
I don't know. Like, I felt fine on my board. I felt okay, but you know, these contests are so close now, and yeah, I'm excited. Those the 4 guys that did make it made it, and you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing it tomorrow.
It's a pretty interesting course. What do you think is going to be the key for the guys that are moving on?
I mean, it's scary. This course is one of the scariest courses Street League's ever made, so I guess it's whoever wants to put themselves out there.
Now, this is not the end of the road for you. You will be in the championship, so where's your mind already kind of going there on what you want to do?
Yeah, you know, I was kind of coming in here relaxed a little bit. Like, I knew New Jersey, I had it kind of locked, but you know, it would have been nice to carry a little bit of momentum over, but you know, I'm psyched to be here. This is the last one for LA, so I'll be a fan tomorrow.
Oh, we are getting a little nostalgic now that it's the end of the road here in LA. Well, thanks so much, Sean.
Thank you.
Guys.
So a tough day for Malto, but Nyjah Houston qualifying first with tricks like that.
Pretty much what you'd expect.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's become commonplace to see Nyjah at the top spot during qualifying. Let's go back down to Jordan, who's with Nyjah Houston.
That's right, someone who will be moving on. Nyjah, you're on point today. The tape's off the ribs. It's safe to say you're 100%.
Yes, I'm feeling really good out there. I'm just psyched to be back out here after that injury. Last contest in Portland, I was having a little hard time, and I'm just psyched to be back out here. I'm having a lot of fun.
Looking ahead to the final, when you did make that early exit in Portland, what's the lesson you took away that you're going to use tomorrow?
The main thing I'm looking for tomorrow is just stay consistent, you know. Last time I fell on the nollie back nose went on the bump to bar 2 times, and when I was actually rolling up to it, I was thinking, like, I should just do it more simple tricks so I can for sure get myself in there. So I'm just going to keep that more in mind this time to make sure I get to that last big section.
All right, keep it simple and have fun. Thanks, Nyjah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'll send things back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. So taking a look at the finalists for tomorrow, of course, Nyjah Houston and Paul Rodriguez, Chris Cole, we're putting it down in that final heat. Bastian Salabanzi making his first finals appearance of the 2013 season. And, of course, Ryan DeCenzo, our Select Series winner, able to squeak in.
Yeah, let's hope Bastian keeps that momentum, because that'd be really exciting to see him do well. But once again, it is the P-Rod and Nyjah show. Both those guys are on point, and they clearly have been training for this moment. So we're going to see a super exciting final X Games here.
Well, amazing performances across the board. But for continued coverage of all things X